Hey, good evening, everybody. How are you? This is Freddie Ewan, two-time GM of the Year, current Pantheon Cup champion, and host of the TPFFKAL show. We have an exclusive tonight. We're going to have a great show. We are getting the GRONK DONKS. Both GMs are coming on, Jonathan Champ and Danny. I don't even know Danny's last name, but great guys. We're going to have a lot of fun with these guys. A lot of fun. I'm going to send this out. Robin's having a little bit of a difficulty getting them to their emails. Robin is great and everything, but, sometimes she's not the sharpest tool in the shed. So I'm going to get this out to Jonathan Champ, going to send him an email. See if I can get this going. There he is. And I am also going to send this out to Danny. Send that out to him. And let's see if these guys get on. Hopefully they will. And we should be ready to go soon. But GRONK DONKS, they got some good keepers. I like Olave, who they got on the Saints. Stevenson they got. I think Stevenson is going to have another good season. Mike Williams is also their other keeper. That's the one that I'm not too big on. We're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about them keeping Gronkowski. We got someone on. It looks like Danny Ross is going to be making it to the TPFFKAL show. Hey, Danny.
Freddie, what's up, my man?
How are you?
Doing well, you?
Good. I'm trying to get your co-GM on. What's going on?
Oh, he must be studying up.
I guess maybe that's it. I guess maybe that's
so.
it.
He's going over the kickers again, I think.
That's an important part in the TPFFKAL.
It is. He's looking for a guy who wears no shoes and no sock. Is there any of those left? Is there any of those left?
I'm just hoping, it's like I'm hoping that, I know that they leave, they in most drafts they leave like retired players on the board, right? So I'm just hoping that, it's like he doesn't pick up Brady, Edelman, and Gronk all for $1, thinking it's going to be like 2011 all over again.
Well, I asked him if he can make sure, in case I get there a little late, not to don't let anybody pick up Trent Dilfer before we do. So I think he's got that done. Yeah.
Right.
I think he should be good there.
Hopefully he's not trying to push Mac Jones on you.
Oh my! I think he's got a tattoo on his ass now of him.
Oh yeah.
I'm pretty sure. Where is this guy?
I don't know. I sent him an email. I want to make sure that I got the right email. Hold on one second. Do I have it? biometchamp@gmail. Hold on one second. I want to make sure that I sent it right. Maybe I got an old email of his, but I'm going to try it one more time.
Let me see
biometchamp@gmail. Yeah, I keep sending it to him. I'm going to send him this link too. I'm going to text it to him too. But, Champ is I think Danny, how old are you?
46.
Okay, all right. So you're in the same boat as I am. Champ's a little bit younger than us. You would think that you would think that he would know technology a little bit more than us, right?
Oh, 100%. Let's see. I think he
got it. Okay. All right.
There he is.
Hopefully we got Jonathan Champ coming on the show.
I'm liking this, Freddie. Where's the Eagle gear? You got your soccer shirt on.
I know.
What are you doing here?
I know.
Are we going over FIFA? What are we doing here?
Hold on one second. That's actually a good idea. Hold on one second. Let me get this all together here. All right. Old school Brian Dawkins.
That's my favorite Eagle of all time right there.
There you go. So, all right. So, you know what? Let's start the show without him, Danny. Let's just get a little personal background on you. So,
Okay.
I'm gonna take it. Were you born and raised in the Baltimore area?
I was in Catonsville, Maryland, right outside, um, between that Baltimore County. I guess that would be south. Oh, look at
Yep.
Carson. I'm trying to find the Go ahead, Freddie. I'm trying to find my so you could get a good laugh. My Yahoo. I'm a platinum 850 rating.
That's awesome.
So I don't know if I should be signing autographs after this or
That's awesome.
oh shit show. Look at this guy. Oh my god.
You are.
There's
There he
there he
is.
is.
There.
Beautiful.
What's up, Gronk?
Jonathan Champ with his Rob Gronkowski jersey on.
Yeah.
That's it. I
Baby
made
Gronk.
it. I'm
There he is.
I'm sorry for the wait, gentlemen.
That
Oh.
I've been looking forward to this show. This is like this is like the 2-for-1 special almost. Robin's been going crazy for you guys.
That's what she said.
That
Yeah.
is what she said just like a minute ago. That's why I was late.
Yeah, right. That's why you're early.
So the first question I'm going to ask you, and I guess Danny is what exactly was the thought process behind keeping Rob Gronkowski as a keeper last year?
Do you want me to start, or would you like to go, champ?
Yeah, go ahead. Yep.
I'd say there was a slim chance that he'd be back in there. So it was worth it to pick up late or off the board, but it started pissing off people. So it was more, let's just do this. So
Right.
we can talk some shit.
I was looking up Gronkowski's stats the other day, and he was an amazing tight end. And I was looking at just like the year that he retired the first time. That was the year when the Patriots lost to Tennessee in the playoffs, and I guess it was like the first round, right? And that was Brady's last game as a Patriot.
Yep.
He went to Tampa Bay. Gronk came over, and they won the Super Bowl. So it was just like a fabulous connection.
Those two were magical together. They were just so much fun to watch.
Yeah, it's just Brady's a great quarterback, but when you look at it, he's really had some great players that he's played with too. Randy Moss was unbelievable when they played together. Edelman was a great receiver. And the Patriots just always had a great defense too. Brady was it just wasn't Brady. That was Patriots just had a phenomenal team for so many years.
Totally true. Yeah, Belichick, he was a genius in putting characters together, man. And he's done it for so long too. Back in the early 2000s when Brady was coming up, who was it? The guy that got the spinal injury. I'm not blanking on his name. The defender, he was the linebacker, 55.
Brewski?
Yeah.
Yeah, Teddy.
Yeah. He was the heart of that. Anyway, they always had just an exceptional crew. They gelled so well because of that locker room. But certainly,
yeah. The year they beat the Rams was sick with Brady.
So being a Patriots fan, do you think that dynasty would you say that was more Belichick or more Brady?
I don't think you can attribute it to just the one of them. I think it's the special magical potion that the two of them were together. I think Belichick, he trusted Brady as his captain on the field. If there was an audible he wanted to run, then he was the commander of that offense. But the way that Belichick ran the team and the accountability and responsibility, and the fact that he had Brady in the locker room as the leader that he was, right, by example. Who was it? One of the younger running backs said, "Yeah, I'd always get to the gym at 7:00 in the morning, and Brady'd be there, and he'd be all sweating, right? And Brady'd be like, hey, you're late." And he'd get there at 6:30 the next day. Brady would have been there for an hour. And hey, you're late. And he finally goes, "I'm going to beat him. I'm going to get there at 5 a.m." Brady's there, and he's already worked up a sweat. He said, "Hey, you're still late." The work ethic and the way that those two gelled for 20 years was something to watch.
I think it's it's a great story how they started out too, because Belichick was the coach of the Browns and they were awful. And Belichick was a great coordinator for the Giants for years, but when he became a head coach, he was almost out the window, out the door. And, Brady came along, he was a 6th-round pick. No one thought anything of him. He shouldn't even made the team. And, it's the greatest dynasty it might even be the greatest dynasty in all of sports,
Well, if Bledsoe doesn't get hurt, maybe he didn't even get a shot. Maybe he never becomes Brady.
Yep,
You know?
that's very true too. Yeah, and that happened. What that happened in the second week? Mo Lewis hit, right? Yeah,
That's right. Yeah.
yeah. So Danny, and let me just ask you this. I was getting to this. So you're 46 years old. You're a Ravens fan, obviously.
Right.
Who did you root for before the Ravens?
I had season tickets to the Eagles.
No
And then,
shit.
Oh,
and then when I was, and then when I
sources.
was out, well, when I was in Ohio at Kent State, there was no Baltimore team because that's when they took them. So I went to some Browns. No, the owner of the San Francisco 49ers lives right outside of Kent, Ohio. He had a par three on his uh front lawn, and my neighbor or my buddy that played tight end for us, OJ Santiago, they live next door, so we would go over and chip balls over there. But anyway, to answer your question, it's always been Baltimore, but then everyone except for me and my brother, all our family is from Philly.
No kidding. Wow,
Hmm.
that's awesome.
Yeah, my dad went to George Washington High School, and then mom went to Neshaminy.
And you played football for Kent State?
I did.
Damn, that's awesome. And you were a tight end?
No,
I played D end, and then
dude, he was a
started,
monster.
Damn.
Tell, give me your stats. Give me your stats, Danny. Back in the day.
Let's go. I would have actually gotten probably like a $10 paycheck because I'm on the Sega Genesis 95 NCAA game.
Are you really?
Yeah,
No kidding.
Yeah, 52 left end.
No
They had me on the
kidding.
special teams. Yeah.
I gotta look your
Yeah, I
stats
was
up.
I came in at 250 freshman year. I went up to 290.
Wow.
So then that summer I stayed up there. If you look up this tight end I was just talking about, became a good friend of mine, OJ Santiago. He ended up playing tight end for the Dirty Birds when they played the Broncos. He was their tight end. Sorry, OJ, for saying this, but he had the worst hands ever in college. But he was 6'8", 250, and he could fly. So they taught him how to catch. He wasn't even a starting tight end at Kent State. We were 2-8. And he played in the Super Bowl.
Wow, that's crazy. That's crazy.
Hard work, brother.
Think about that.
Hard work.
He just would bust his ass. He had hands of brick though.
Yeah.
And he learned how to do it.
So getting to the TPFFKAL, just before I had you guys on, I was talking about your keepers, and I think you guys have, I like your keepers. I think Olave is I think he's going to be a strong receiver. He's going in the late second, early third rounds in most drafts. The same thing with Stevenson. I was a little worried when they hired Zeke, but then I saw Zeke at training camp, and I think the guy weighs 400 pounds now. So I think, Stevenson's
I saw that right away.
Fine. And
he's a goal line specialist.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Which is not going to help. Not going to help us.
In the goal line, And then Mike Williams, I'm a little. I'm not too big on Mike Williams just because I think that's going to be a crowded receiver group in San Diego. But I like your keepers. You guys are also one of the 4 teams that are going without a quarterback. You have plenty of cap room. You have 150 something in cap room. I think you're 4th on the list. There's, I think there's only two out of the top 10 quarterbacks that are left, which is your boy in Baltimore, Lamar Jackson, and the other guy is Herbert. So what exactly is your? And I know that a lot the other guys that don't have quarterbacks, I know they have a lot of cap room too. Do you guys have a specific strategy for quarterback going into the draft?
Denny, if I could, I didn't run you by this in the pre press conference, the briefing.
Oh,
but I'm gonna listen. I think we have some tricks up our sleeve.
Yeah, I think our strategy is going to be we're going to pick one. Is that what we're doing?
Yeah, I think we're going to pick one. But
Yeah,
listen again.
That's my strategy.
We had such good success with our retirement veteran plan. I think honestly, what we're going to do, I think there are a lot of undervalued QBs out there that are going to be completely under the radar. We can get them cheap and get them late. I mean, just like Troy Aikman, like that's a, he would.
I like Hasselbeck up in Seattle. I like Hasselbeck.
Yeah, exactly. Right. I mean, wow. Yeah. You have to convince me on that. I was thinking too, Dan Marino. I don't even know. I mean, he can probably still throw a 60-yard bomb. And I'm
Well,
just saying, like, we can get them very inexpensive, so we can, maybe we get back out and we pick CMC back up.
do you think we should put Sean Landetto on the trading blocks or what?
It could garner a lot of conversations, I think.
Okay,
I think.
So,
cool.
so tell me what you think of, particularly the two. Tell me what you think of Olave and Stevenson, and why you kept them.
Go ahead, Danny. Kick it
I
off.
like. Well, I do think the Saints could be scoring a lot of points this year. I think he had a good year last year, and I think he's just going to keep developing and blow up. And I think we got him at a good price point. And if you did look at the math ratio, is at like plus 15 or plus $18 when I was calculating our team. So
Really good.
I was like, these guys know more than I do, so I should at least we should make this move. The Stevenson one, I just liked him as a running back. I didn't, I think Champ picked him up for us, which I'm super happy with. I think the upside on him was also good. We had some other ones that could have been decent, but nobody worth.
It was
making the power move.
It came down to value on in particular those two players. They weren't monster keepers like CMs. The big,
that one hurt, by the way.
Was that?
That one hurt. He might have a big year, but they have a great backfield this year. And their defense is good.
True, it's true. The elephant in the room for us was, was the CMC decision, right? So, we just thought that it was too much capital to pour into one boss hog, and we'll see. Right? Maybe who knows? Like you said, we're strong. We've got a good budget. There's nothing saying that we don't come out strong and make a good play for a CMC type character. But those two in particular, I think they, like to Danny's point, they were great value for the money that we had spent. We got them at good prices in the last couple of years, so it made perfect sense.
And what about what the hell happened there? Hold on.
Technical difficulties.
What about all the trades that we were getting from last year till 2 weeks ago? CMC fucking
the next thing that I want to talk to you guys about too is I have a lot of respect for you guys because there was a time at that the midseason mark where there were a lot of teams that were just dumping everything. Yep. And you guys stood pat. You guys, you didn't make the playoffs, but you didn't dump your team either. And now you're going into this season. You're in pretty good shape going into this season. Without having to dump any. You got good keepers, and it's like you didn't pile up 200 plus cap room, but you guys are in pretty good shape this season. So it's like you haven't made the playoffs yet. How is that going to be different this year?
It's interesting you point that. I mean, Danny and I had a long heart to heart about that decision that you just said.
Well,
we want to play. We want to play.
That was at our 5:30 a.m. training meetings, right?
Right.
Yeah, after the workout, the protein shake.
That's right. In the steam room. That's with no towels.
Exactly. But that was on the Paris trip that Doug offered us for CMC.
That's right. Yeah. He did, and that's true. That's a fact. You can document it. We got receipts.
There were some good trades.
We got receipts.
Well, Doug, Doug ended up paying, something insane for Saquon Barkley, and I mean, I guess it, he did finish as the runner-up, but he's in a world of trouble this year. It looks like. I think he's got $56 in cap room, and 2 keepers. Joe Burrow's going to have to put up, Dan Marino numbers pretty much, so I mean, it could happen.
What does second place pay?
I'm not sure. I know it's a $200 league, and they paid the top 4. So I know.
They did.
Yeah, I think I got 1,000 last year for first.
Nice.
And I wonder. Yeah, so I'm not sure what second pays, but I know it's pretty top heavy. I think it was 600 maybe. So.
I think that speaks to the best answer to that. That speaks to our philosophy. I'm not interested in playing the roller coaster game. We've had multiple GMs do the yard sale, and then now they've got colossal money this year. Great, that'll be good. But then they're not going to be able to afford to keep any of those damn players the year after. I think we're just gonna keep pounding the ground. We're we're going to keep hiring, 10,
Talk
20,
to 'em.
30-year retired
Talk
vets.
to him, champ.
Yeah. I mean, and we're just
I
going to
love it.
grind. We're going to grind. We're going to get up there.
Well, here's my question. What pays more, 5th place or 11th?
Neither.
Correct.
Thank you.
That's right.
So when I hear somebody say I finished in 7th or whatever, that's a joke. We finished in 5th. We all tied for 5th.
Right.
So
Right.
it's a fresh start. We all tied.
Get 'em.
So,
That's exactly true. That's exactly true.
unless you're getting paid, I don't want to hear from anybody.
And I like that attitude that Champ has, and it proves the point a little bit, because it's like, I mean, I have I have $108. I think I got some good keepers, but it's going to be a uphill battle for me this year. It's going to be it's going to be an uphill battle for a lot of guys there that spent their money. I think you guys are in pretty good shape. It's you're going to need to come out and have a good draft, and like anything in fantasy football, it's a lot like poker. You need a lot of luck. Players need to hold up, and you need to avoid injuries, and you never know what's going to happen in football. But but I think you guys are in a pretty good position.
Oh, I'm hoping to draft a couple Queen 6 offsuits, Joe Murray style, for a home run hitter.
Yeah,
to put me in the
no
championship.
doubt.
Right.
Jack 6. Sorry, don't give him the
Oh
queen.
yeah, sorry.
Jack 7. Jack 7 off.
Jack 7.
Jack
Jack,
off.
Yeah,
Yeah.
all day. That's our new team name.
Jack 7. Jack 7 off.
Jack 7 off. Jack 7 off.
Jack 7 me off.
So just a personal question for
Hello.
you, Champ. Just a personal question. I had the opportunity to go to your Super Bowl party, and I spent most of the Super Bowl sitting next to your father. And your father is a diehard Giants fan.
Nice.
Huge Giants fan. And I'm sitting there, and his son is a New England Patriots fan. And how did that happen?
Well, I guess a lot of daddy issues growing up, right? Like, it's just a rebellious nature of my character, right? I said, fuck you, Dad. Like, I'm gonna pick the opposite of your team. Honestly, it was organic. It was we grew up, my whole mom's side, they're all massive Red Sox fans. And I fell in love with the Patriots in 2001. You couldn't, it was the New England Patriots, right? They get the name the Patriots, the year of 9/11. It was so fitting that they won that Super Bowl. It was Brady's first bowl. I mean, Belichick and Brady on the big stage together. I just fell in love with them. So there was some tension, certainly early on.
Right.
No, my old man, he's loved watching them too. I mean, he's a massive Giants fan, and those 2 Super Bowls really kicked me in the dick. But I still think they were both bullshit. And what's his face, Manningham and Tyree. Like, I mean, both those were like 1 in 10 million catches, and they're the only reason that Eli has 2 rings. But I digress.
I agree. Did the Philadelphia Eagles in 2018 deserve to beat the Patriots?
They probably did. I'll be honest with you. They probably did.
I still think that's the greatest play in Super Bowl history. The pass to Foles.
It has to be up there. It has to be up there. I mean, there's very few things. I mean, there are, like, if you think with I can't remember what year it was, but with the Falcons, Patriots, and then with the Seahawks, that's for you, BMAC, the Seahawks. I don't know if you remember when they should have run the ball when they were on a 2-yard line.
Absolutely.
They decided to pass the ball. Great, it was fantastic. I loved it. I mean, because but I think you're right. As far as like just hard won, just dogfight like that, you're right. That Foles pass is incredible.
And you brought up that Falcons game. That was that was probably the most amazing Super Bowl I've ever seen. That comeback was like, there was no way. I thought the game was over. I actually
almost turned it off.
Yeah,
almost turned it off. Halftime, I'm going to bed. This is nonsense. And he just marched. That's what he does, though. What the guy did. That's why he'll be on our 2023 DONKS roster.
I mean, they were down by so much. And it's like, I could not believe that comeback. But that's how it works. Brady was meant for the big stage, and it's like he's been to so many Super Bowls. He's lost 3 of them, to good teams. And it's just like, the guy's got 7 Super Bowl rings. It's unbelievable.
70% and the biggest show on earth. That's pretty freaking good.
Absolutely.
I'd say.
Yeah, it's not getting touched for a while.
So last question, I'm going to ask you guys both this separately. All right, I've asked
boy.
everyone on the thing. If you guys aren't going to win the Pantheon Cup this year, who is?
Go ahead, Danny.
I'm gonna throw some love to my boy Jimmy. Big Jimmy coming in hot. I'm always rooting for Jimmy.
Jimmy's been the champ, regular season champ, and has blown in the playoffs twice now.
He's strong,
Well,
man. He's got a great knowledge.
Jimmy was my when we were in Vegas on the couple times we actually went without everybody backing out at the last minute. The one time we went, Jimmy sat right across from me at dinner. So it was good. Do you guys want to say we'll go to Vegas next week, and then on Tuesday, why don't you just call and say
I'm in. Next week is good.
Next week,
I had a room.
Yeah.
I didn't know whether I was going, but I did have a room. I had a room at resorts.
All right. Well, next year's draft, we're going to Greece. So
that's right.
Book.
Mykonos.
I would want
the island of Mykonos.
2 days, 2 days beforehand. Please cancel.
You know what I think would be a good idea is going to New Orleans, maybe.
Oh.
Or maybe,
well, let's just, we got to go somewhere together and actually do a draft before we start planning all the rest of this. All right.
Right.
So,
or maybe even,
let's don't go to
going to wherever the first game is and going to that game, having the draft on Wednesday and then going to the game on Thursday. That would be a good idea too.
That could be cool.
We should practice a live one though in the backyard where everybody lives and see if we can even get everybody to show up to that.
Right. I'm going to be at Brian's house.
Right.
You know, I'm going to be there. So
if you can't get to 15 minutes down the road, you're not.
Well, hey, listen. Hey, listen. You can't now with all that smack talk, boyo. You better get your ass over here, Stonebridge.
Hey, let's put it this way. There was one person that was signed up for Vegas.
Brian.
That was me. Oh yeah, yeah. He was signed up. You're right. You got the was.
True.
Just joking, Jay. I love you and your dogs.
So champ, who's gonna win?
You know, and that's an interesting question. I have heard you ask it, and I've watched a couple episodes. I need to go back and watch them all in full disclosure. But I honestly think I feel good about Rich, about the Godfather.
Ooh.
And I just because the guy puts in so much effort and he's so knowledgeable about it. You know, every player you ask him about, he's got an opinion on it because he's thought about it and studied it. So I don't know. I mean, I think he could come up out of the ashes and he could be a true sleeper this year. We'll see. I don't know. You probably know better. His budget setup is pretty good too, right?
I mean, Rich won it the inaugural year, and I was the way I thought he had no chance to do anything last year, and him being able to get into the playoffs, I thought was just a true testament on how much of a good GM he is.
He can make a deal. He'll make a deal at the last minute, and he knows how to put in the effort and the hours and grease the skids, man. He's
very good at very good at trading too, and he's I'm afraid to trade with him sometimes because he's gotten the better of I see him get the better of a lot of trades.
And was he top four?
That's a talent in its own.
Was he top four?
I don't think it was top four. I think he lost. I think he lost in the first round. He ended up losing in the first round. I forget to. Gotcha. It was to either Bowser or I think he lost to Doug actually in the first round.
What's he get for that?
Nothing.
High five.
Yeah,
just joking, love. Yeah. Love you, Rich.
High five. Yeah.
Exactly. So who's the championship, Freddie? Who's playing in the championship?
So I think it's going to be very hard for I think James has great keepers. I think
I forgot about James.
I should have thought of that. But yeah,
I just thought about the poker table.
He's going to be my pick to win, and who's going to get up there? I think that, I think Jimmy has a pretty good shot to do it this year. Don't count Zach out either,
budget too.
But I think I could probably see Jimmy and James in the championship playing each other.
I like that. I really hope J-Dot gets up there just so you two can go back and forth for at least the first.
J-Dot's got the budget to do it. I'll tell you, man, that boy does more research than anybody. His Excel spreadsheets spit out. I mean, the QBs, I guess his strategy did pretty well last year. So
he plays me. We play each other in back-to-back weeks, week 10 and week 11, and I think that's the week where I'm gonna be going to like the Bahamas, and I'm not gonna have any service on my phone.
Until you win.
Yeah.
win.
Yeah. So
If you lose, that thing's turned off for a week.
So I'm still trying. So and I actually got one more question for you guys before we go. So I've been trying to get a couple people on the show. I've been trying to get, Bowser has committed to the show. Sean told me that he'll be on the show after the draft. Zach, I'm still waiting on. Neil, I'm still waiting on. Neil, I was going to get on one night. It didn't happen, but I really want to get Doug on the show. So what do I have to do to get Doug on the show?
You probably need to show him your penis. Maybe even offer to let him touch it.
I would say just a little pinch and giggle.
Ken. I mean, I hired Ken. Ken's been all over him, sending them nudes and dirty boxers, but hasn't got anywhere yet.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure though if Dougie's like the Ken doll kind of guy. You know what I mean?
Right.
I think he's probably pretty grungy. Maybe he got a thing for
Ken, you're fired.
Porky guys with small dicks. I don't know. I'm just saying, if he had a type, that's the type that I think he would go for.
He does have a picture of Joe Moo's ass, so maybe that might be it. Yeah, that might be it.
I think it's multiple pictures. I want to clarify for the record.
Right.
I thought he wallpapered it.
So I thought this was awesome. I thought you guys did a great job. This was a great show.
Hey, love you, buddy. Thanks for putting this together. This is awesome.
Thanks so much for being on the show, guys. I'm glad
I made the jersey call, and I'm the only schmuck here that doesn't have it on.
Yeah,
we got to do a redo.
Get the memo next time.
Exactly. Put that James ahead about jersey on.
Yeah, exactly. So who should we push now, Freddie? You said Neil,
Bowser, Zach, Sean, and then Squatch. We got to get on Squatch.
Yep. Right. We got on the show. It'll be great. And if he needs to come with a chaperone and everything, that'll be fine too.
A handler, if you will. Yeah.
All right.
Awesome guy.
On 3. Thanks, Freddie.
Thanks, Mr. Ewan. Keep at it. Great work.
I'll see you tomorrow morning at the sauna for training camp.
That's right. 5:30. No later.
Warm it up. Let's get it. See ya.
Later, boys.